To yet another episode of Thursday Thoughts. It is your favorite everything, Mr. Zach James here with my good old buddy Kevin Homer. How you doing, Kevin?
I thought you were talking about me at first.
No, you did. I know. I
I'm
confused
doing
you.
great though. The Sixers are back.
Sixers are back. We got a couple weird days of warm weather still.
Yeah. I don't think we're here to talk about either of those topics, but it's
Not at
it's
all.
still exciting.
Not at
And
all. And the Flyers are back too and undefeated, I think, so far in the season. So they're trying to take some of the Eagles' pressure off of me and
yeah,
give me something
we
to
uh
smile
we
about.
Flyers did lose their home opener in overtime. It was my first
Okay.
game in a couple of years that I attended. So sorry to the Flyer fans out there that are probably blaming me right now, but
Not a loss in the loss column though, right? That doesn't count as a loss, right?
they get 1 point. So
All right.
in hockey, you get 2 points for a win. If you make it to overtime, you still get 1 point at least. So
Take
still
it.
counts for something.
Taking it.
We'll take it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we got an exciting episode today. We're talking about my favorite social media. So we're going to get right into it because we got an awesome guest. And again, folks, make sure you are liking, sharing, commenting on the show because this is going to be a really good one. Again, welcome to another Thursday Thoughts. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Thursday Thoughts. Zach James and Kevin Homer here. How you doing today, Kev?
I'm great. I'm so excited about this conversation that we're going to have today. And I know on Thursday Thoughts we always try to branch out and we talk about so many different business topics, but you and me, Zach, I mean, in our hearts, it always comes back to marketing. That's what we love, and of course, social media is such a huge topic in marketing. And we just spent a couple minutes before we started Thursday Thoughts talking with our guest speaker behind the scenes, and just what a fun conversation we had. And I
Yeah,
know we're gonna have so much fun in this next half hour, 45 minutes with her.
for sure, for sure. And you know what? It's crazy because I remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, social media was kind of like an afterthought, just like websites were 20, 25 years ago.
Yep.
And now it's such an integral part of how you grow a business that this kind of information is super valuable. So folks who are watching, whether it be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, make sure you are sharing the link, spread the word. Of course, you can share it after we're live, but if you share it while we're live, you can ask our guest questions. And that's really important because our guest is Miss Keshia Butler-Thomas. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Keshia. Keshia has worldwide clients. All right. Keshia Butler-Thomas is affectionately known as Coach Keish. She helps her clients elevate their business and brands through the usage of data-driven social media methodology. As a founder of Thrive Academy, she has taught her clients how to create an audience of loyal customers using social media despite the algorithms to advance their brands. She was voted New Jersey's top 40 under 40 executives in 2018. Coach Keish is also the host of Stop Surviving, Start Thriving on RVN TV, which is streaming to all Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon devices. She is also the Thursday morning co-host of Morning Coffee on Roku TV. So this is like her second show today, basically. Keshia found a need in the marketplace to serve entrepreneurs who were ready to start, build, or scale their companies online. With that realization in mind and passion for serving, she created a company centered around building out actionable plans for success rooted in authenticity to provide online audiences with an opportunity to experience not just the products or services her clients provide, but to experience why her clients are the best in their industries. So without further ado, happy to introduce you all to the wonderful Keshia. Hey, Keshia.
Hello. So happy to
How
be
are
here
you?
with you guys today.
Indeed. I'm going to put you in the big box. Hold up. There we go. Now everyone can see you shining. Awesome. So happy to have you, Keshia. And it's cool because of social media. I've known of you throughout the pandemic. I've seen you. We have some mutual friends, and we got to meet a month or so ago through our mutual friend Ashley Owens. And as soon as I met you, I was like, oh no, I love her. No, we hit it off. We think alike. And you fully understand this world of social media, what it can do for businesses, how it can help people. So again, so excited to have you here. Before we really jump into the topics, though, can you give people a little bit more about your business?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, Zach and Kevin, thank you guys so much for sharing your platform with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited to be here. So my company, Purposeful Life, Solution Focused Life and Business Coaching, which is now officially LCK Consulting Services. Boom, 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 boom. There goes an exclusive for you guys. Um, Serves entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and side hustlers who understand that they need to be implementing social media as a strategy for brand awareness and ultimately to grow revenue. At LCK Consulting Services, we have this saying that we need to make dollars make sense in the internet streets. And the only way for us to do that is through executing social media strategy from a data driven space. And so that's what we do. My signature program is Thrive Academy. And that's a year-long group coaching experience where I walk my entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and side hustlers through the process of building a meaningful, authentic digital footprint. So I get really excited about it. So I'm really, really happy to dig into it today with you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. So we won't keep the people waiting. We're going to jump right into it. And the way we did this is we broke it down into four phases, or four topics surrounding social media. And the first one that we figured we'd start with, because it makes sense, there's not everyone knows everything, of course, is why to post. Why should you use social media for your business? So let's talk a little bit about that.
So I'm actually super excited that you asked me this for more than one reason. So I think a lot of times, first and foremost, for those of us who have been in business for a while, especially the entrepreneur, solopreneur, and side hustler, right? We are doing a million and one things in our company. And so we know that we need to be on social because everybody says we need to be on social, but we don't have the why behind it. And I'm a firm believer that in anything that we do, whether it be personal or professional, we need to at least know the why. So the real why behind social media is the fact that it is literally the most effective marketing solution to increase brand awareness and visibility. So when you post regularly on social media, your customers get to see, in air quotations, of course, more of your brand. Not only that, but it's a cost-effective solution to marketing your brand and getting it out there where it can reach potential customers in real time. Real time is super key there, friends, because in traditional marketing, we have to hope and pray somebody drives past our billboard or watches our commercial or hears us on the radio. The list goes on. With social, we get to do this in real time right now in our hands.
Right. Now, for the folks who are saying, hey, I'm on social, I have a Facebook page, and they don't really post a lot, and they don't touch the other social platforms. Like, what do you say to that person? Like, are they checking that box, or are they just really kind of, not being efficient enough and really should put more energy into it?
So I think we all know we need the page, right? So we have the Instagram page, we have the Facebook business page, we probably have a LinkedIn, right? But are we using it effectively? Who knows? And the reason why I say that is because do we even know what effective looks like? And of course, we're going to dig into what effective looks like, but you are just checking a box if you just have the page. Social media is a conversation. If you're not starting conversations, they're not going to happen. And so that's ultimately not going to allow you to get in front of the people who you need to make dollars make sense in the internet streets.
And I know, Kevin, you say this all the time, and I like this quote from you. I actually use it from time to time that, when you say the word social media, the first word is social. You have to be social. You have to be engaging with whatever audience you're looking for, or else you're not going to receive any sort of benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's it's shocking how many businesses still say today that social media is not right for me, or for my business, and that's where that quote comes up. I mean, there are businesses, they're B2B, they're more serious. I don't think I'm getting business out of social media, but guess what? This is your chance to show some personality, have some fun, go be social.
Yeah,
I tell folks too, you work with and you buy from who you like. And how do I know if I like you if I haven't seen anything about you other than your website or, the name of your business. Like I need more to differentiate. Do I want to work with you over someone else? So yeah, I'm a big proponent of social for everybody. And of course, you hire professionals like us if you need help with it.
Yeah.
So next, let's talk about this a little bit. So let's say, all right, I'm a business owner. All right, I'm going to do social. You got me, Keish. I'm going to do it. What about this? Where the heck do I post? What about these different platforms, certain ones for certain businesses? Like, tell us a little about your thoughts on where you should be.
So I am so glad that you mentioned this. So first and foremost, I want to be very, very clear. You do not have to be on every platform. I think one of the biggest myths about social is it won't work if you're not everywhere for everybody. And that's actually the fastest way to serve no one. Okay. So with social, we need to be really, really clear on the platforms that we're choosing because we need to be where our ideal clients are hanging out, right? And B, we need to be where we feel most comfortable and confident. Because if our clients feel like we're not confident in what we're doing, that's going to translate into their thoughts about how we handle business and service them. So we want to make sure that we're definitely looking at those two things. Some other things to consider are what the platforms offer. And so I'm just going to give you guys a couple of quick little hits for some of the most popular, right? So something like Instagram. Instagram is huge for businesses, okay? Instagram is arguably the best option for a business to post and get increased brand awareness due to the ability to stand alone and partner with Facebook. Facebook is what I refer to as Big Brother. And if anybody out there has ever read my book, Start, Build, Scale, The Ultimate Guide to Building Your Business Using Social Media, I talk about Big Brother Facebook, right? And so with that, Instagram also has the most efficient options for a business to connect with their clients to make sales on demand. Things like the Instagram story, the swipe up in the story feature, the highlights that can allow you to link things there, the Instagram shops, right? So if you are a product-based business or a service-based business, you should be on Instagram. Then, of course, we have Big Brother Facebook. We can't forget that, right? It's the most user-friendly platform. So if you're someone who's like, oof, it's too many bells and whistles in these social media streets, Facebook is a great place for you to be, to feel confident and comfortable because it's pretty easy to use. Then we have things like Twitter, which is known for its ability to engage in insightful conversations with contributions from people on a global scale. So Twitter is fabulous if you are providing thought-provoking content. People want to talk and give their opinion on Twitter. Now be careful because you might get canceled on Twitter, but Twitter is definitely a great place if you have thought-provoking information. Of course, there's LinkedIn as well, which LinkedIn is best known as a space for professionals to network, to provide valuable, thought-provoking information, to create conversations and connections. The word connection is big on LinkedIn. People need to feel connected to the content that you're providing on that platform to continue to work with you. Of course, we've got YouTube. That's for all of our people who like to view videos. And last but not least, one that I really like to address that we forget about a lot is Pinterest. Pinterest is known for its ability to take aesthetically pleasing photos and allow clients and customers to experience your creativity. If you are a blogger, you need to be on Pinterest. There is no easier platform to utilize to connect directly to blogs, create hyperlinks, and what have you than Pinterest.
Gotcha. And for those who are thinking you can only get canceled by saying dumb things on Twitter, no, you can get canceled anywhere. It just happens a lot there. So let me ask you this question. I was under the impression that the swipe up on Instagram was only available if you either had 10,000 plus followers or if you had a blue check mark. Is there a truth to that?
That is very correct. The way in which you can circumvent the system, though,
teach me,
is by optimizing the link in your bio on Instagram. So typically when you go to fill out your Instagram profile, when you are filling it out, it will say website. So people automatically think, oh, I need to put my professional website here. If that's all you have, that's fine. But I encourage you to get a third-party plugin like a link in bio, a link tree, or a milkshake that will allow you to have multiple links in one space so that people can go wherever it is that you need them to go. Understanding that all of those third-party platforms can be changed instantly. They all have applications on your phone. If there's something that you need to add right now, you can do that. If there's something you need to remove, you can do that as well. So I always tell people to do that. So in your story, you just want to click the link in my bio. You can get a little scrolling or rolling link in your bio, however fancy you want to get, but send them there to get to the next page.
Out of those ones you mentioned, what's your favorite? I've used Linktree, not to experience with the others.
My absolute favorite is Milkshake. That is actually the one that I use, and that is the one that I have all of my clients use. There is a little thing with Milkshake where you can only get it if you are an iPhone user. It does not have an application on Android yet, but it is coming. The reason why I like Milkshake for the people who I work with is because Milkshake allows you to not just have links, but a miniature website. So a lot of the times, the people who I serve are brand new entrepreneurs, or they're solopreneurs, so they're doing everything, or they're side hustlers, right? So sometimes finances can be a little bit of an issue depending on where they are, whether they're starting, building, or scaling. So Milkshake allows you to have something in place that simulates a small website until you're able to potentially afford your domain, to afford having a professional like Navitas come in and create a great site for you. It's a little bit of leadway there for you. So Milkshake's my favorite.
Interesting. I definitely need to check them out because I was not familiar.
And I will mention, and you kind of led into this, Keshia, but I always like, if you do have a website, which most businesses do, but we also know there's a lot of, individuals and personalities that may not have that, which is where, Linktree and Milkshake come in. If you do have a website for your business, I love create a page on your website to have this list of links. You've got yourdomain.com and create a /links or /social or something that makes it obvious. But it's just as easy to update that page with new links as it is to update Milkshake, Linktree, whatever other third-party app you might be using. But now, even if someone doesn't go to one of those links, you have still brought them to your website. You're still increasing your traffic, which looks good for SEO, looks good to the search engines, that you're getting traffic to your site. They may stumble upon something else on your website. You wanted them to see the 5 links on that page. Guess what? They found something totally different on your website that they wouldn't have found if you hadn't brought them to your site. So that's what I love to see. If you have control of your website and you know how to maintain it, and most websites today, they should have a content management system behind it that you can easily update it, create that simple page that has those links. And if you don't have that option, absolutely. Linktree, Milkshake, there's probably 10 others out there we haven't even heard of. Go for it. They're awesome tools.
Right. They're creating new stuff literally every day. And since we're just talking about links and Instagram specifically, before we jump into Pinterest, because I want to dive a little deeper into that, Keshia, can we start a petition to temporarily ban anyone from Instagram who puts the links in their captions? Because I'm seriously tired of seeing that. I can't copy it. All right. And I'm not going to sit here and type all them letters into my browser. So people should be put on Instagram probation every time they do that. It infuriates me.
I agree. It is not smart to do because no one can click it. Instagram does not have hyperlinks in that way. But I also think sometimes that just comes from folks who don't necessarily know completely how the platform works or understand how humans work. So those of us who are in the social media space, we know that the average attention span for anybody using social media consistently is 6 seconds. With that being said, there's no way that in 6 seconds, I'm going to look at your graphic or video or post, read all of the word copy, interpret what I need to do, copy and paste the link, post it, put it into my browser and search. It's just not going to happen. So that just lets us know that that's someone who is just not clear on the way that the process flows the most easy.
That actually has been a sort of a signifier for me to reach out to somebody and just start a conversation. because I have a feeling if they're doing that, there's other areas that they might need some assistance with. So I've
Mm-hmm.
actually have found
Mm-hmm.
as clients through engaging conversations with people that I see don't post right. And at the very end of the day, I'm always willing just to give them some advice and say, hey, you should do this
Yeah.
differently. But if you show that genuine care, usually they want to learn more. And now you see kind of behind the curtains, you're like, oh, everything's messed up here. Okay, I can help you. Yeah, that's a heck of an indicator that there's something wrong.
Well, I think the other issue with the links is, we and I think we're going to get into this a little bit later, but there are some really great scheduling tools out there that help streamline the process of posting on social media. And it's great. You can create a post and say, I want it on platform A, I want it on platform B, C, wherever you want to go. But then even though that streamlined process helped you to be efficient, you still need to customize it a little bit. So if you put that link in your Facebook post or your LinkedIn post, I don't need to see it on Instagram. If it started off on Instagram, I don't need to see your tagged Instagram handles on LinkedIn and Facebook. They're not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Great that on Instagram you created 20 hashtags for this post. You did exactly what you were supposed to do, but hashtags aren't as popular on Facebook, or you may run out of room on Twitter. Like you can't do it. So great. Use the scheduling tools. They're helpful. They're there for a reason. They really do streamline the process, but there is that extra step. You need to customize it just a little bit to make sure it's appropriate for each individual platform.
Big facts.
So true. So true.
Big facts. Yeah, I think when they say different strokes for different folks, well, it's the same thing for social pages. And before we go on to the next topic, Keshia, can you dive a little bit more into Pinterest? I know you said it's often forgotten about, but tell us the value of Pinterest for a business.
So Pinterest is often forgotten about because Pinterest almost has become like a secondary Google for a lot of people. Where I'm guilty of this. If we're staging a photo shoot, I'm likely on Pinterest looking at images to try to figure out what we're going to do. But what we forget is Pinterest serves the same purpose that all these other social sites do. Ultimately, it's a big, huge ad agency, right? And so Pinterest is what makes it special is it's a visual discovery engine for finding ideas like recipes, home and style inspiration, right? So with billions of pins on Pinterest, you're always going to find ideas to spark inspiration. So when you discover the pins that you love, you save them to the boards and you keep those ideas. So because it offers a business page, the business page allows you to gain access to insights as well as add connections to websites, blogs, etc. So it's also important to remember that 97% of the top search pins on Pinterest are unbranded. So what that means is it's really good for small businesses who maybe don't have that big household brand or name. So like Coca-Cola is not going to do as well as we're going to do on Pinterest because people aren't looking for the brand. They're looking for the inspiration. So it gives you freedom to just be who you are without needing to worry about how many followers you have, how much engagement you have, right? You just get to be you. And if someone likes it, they save the pin and that's it.
Awesome. I know y'all see at the bottom this scrolling here to follow Keshia on all these daggone platforms. I didn't know one person could manage all this, but when I saw Pinterest, I was like, Pinterest? I thought that was just like recipes and stuff, and she put me on. So there will be a Z James Pinterest account coming to these streets soon enough.
And I would like to give you one last little fun fact about Pinterest because I think you'll like this. One of the coolest things you can do with Pinterest is add your YouTube videos to it. So if you're looking to increase your views and traffic on YouTube, Pinterest is a great way to do that because you can literally take the cool little thumbnails that you put on YouTube, turn them into pins, and draw people in like that, which is why it's super important to have fun with your covers on YouTube because they can double on Pinterest.
Love that. We're going to have another session in Thursday Thoughts in the future about Canva and graphics and thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that too. And again, folks, make sure you're giving us any questions you might have for Keshia. This is free info today, so throw us your questions and we'll chop it up. But let's move on to, all right, we understand we have to post. We know about the different platforms. Now it comes to what the heck are we actually posting?
So again, another great one, honestly, right? So we know we have to be there, but what are we saying to these people and why are we saying it to these people, right? That's really where we are at this point, friends. And honestly, each platform needs different sorts of information. So again, just to hit kind of some of those big ones, Facebook is a great place for you to add things that are going to give people breaking news. We know that over 50% of millennials, who are the largest social media using population, go to places like Facebook to get their news. So you always want to be giving something cutting edge and new on Facebook that people can talk about. So for example, let's say you're a beauty brand, right? If you were utilizing some new innovative sort of serum that's going to help you defy aging or something amazing like that, you want to break that news someplace like Facebook because that's what people want.
Right.
If you are looking to get people, if you have like more of an aesthetically pleasing product or service, then you want to use something like Instagram or something like Twitter or something like Pinterest. Now, the reason why it's all three is because on Instagram, we know that initially started off as like a photo-based application. It is moving to video now, as the Instagram CEO let us know that. But still, those aesthetically pleasing things are what's going to help you level up on Instagram. Same as we know, statistically speaking, things that are posted on Twitter that have images attached get over 100% more traffic. So we want to make sure that we're attaching images on Twitter as much as possible, opposed to just making statements of 140 characters. And last but not least, of course, Pinterest. We want to have those fun, beautiful things on Pinterest because that's what people save. Right. Then we have something like a Snapchat, where Snapchat is actually really big for millennials who you're trying to sell to as well. And we want to give them quick, fun hits on Snapchat. But no matter where we are, friends, if you guys don't take away anything else, all of the information that you provide needs to be two things: educational, to position yourself as an expert in your industry, and exciting, so that people actually want to engage, right? People are not going to engage with you if they don't feel like you are providing them with expert education that's exciting. So you may post something that is so packed full of info and you're like, this is gonna kill them, and then it falls flat. It probably fell flat because the image was not there. So let's just make sure that we're focusing on education and excitement so that you can get engagement.
Gotcha. So what we're saying, just to, I guess, maybe even just reword it, is, your content can be looked at as, all right, what are you actually saying? That's your education, what you're giving. And then the delivery of it, does it make someone want to watch it? Are you energetic in your video? And I think some people also kind of get confused when it comes to creating any sort of content as to the levels. Like, you don't have to go big budget video production crew to be entertaining. If anything, TikTok has taught me that over this past year and a half, because I've sat in there and just went down the rabbit hole, and I'm like, I'm watching these people just make fools of themselves and dance and do all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I notice, like, all right, this person's dancing, but like they got words popping up on the screen and they're giving me information at the same time. Like, whoa, that's really cool. And now I'm looking at 200,000 hearts on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. And I'm not the one who's going to get up and start dancing in front of the camera, but like, I understand what they're creating. And I think that's a barrier that a lot of people have, is like, all right, they see other people doing it, but they feel they can't do it themselves. Do you have any like suggestions on like how to just get out there and start creating engaging content that people actually want to watch?
Yeah, so this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning with being where you're confident, right? You don't have to be on TikTok and you don't have to dance on TikTok, right? You can totally do other things. So if you're not comfortable with that, don't do it, because your audience is going to see that. What I will say, though, is make sure that you have a good pulse on what your audience needs. Some people's audiences, they need that dancing, right? Other people's audiences will just take a dissertation. Understand who you're serving and serve them. And that's the type of content that you need to make. I don't want people to get caught up in, I need video production, I need photos, I need glitter, I need filters, I need unicorns, I need rainbows. I don't want them to get caught up in that. I want people to get caught up in serving the people who they need to serve, right? And we do that and we create that for them by being consistent in whatever we do. So I am the one who will get in a video and dance, right? I love Megan Thee Stallion and my knees are great. So I will do that, right? I don't have a problem doing it. But there are people who are like, Keshia, absolutely not. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I do that because that's who I am. My audience now expects that from me. So if I'm not doing that, they're in my DMs like, what's going on? Are you sick? What's happening? Right? So again, it's about being consistent at what you do by serving the people who want to be served by you. I hope that makes sense.
It makes all the sense in the world. So let's talk about this last topic, which I think is very, very importante. How to post in terms of how should you use social posts to make sales. So of course we can dance on the post and we can give information, but how do we take what we're putting out there and turning into revenue growth for ourselves?
Yeah, so more so than anything, I want to give people 3 easy steps to creating a post on any platform. Okay, this is going to work. This is the formula, right? So step 1, we need to have a captivating hook for our post. So we don't want to start off our post just giving information, right? We want to bring the people in. So maybe try something like calling all, or I'm about to share a secret, or true or false, or let me save you some time and money, right? Let's draw the people in based on what it is that your community needs, making sure that we have something that's gonna catch them, right? Next up is using word copy that will reach your audience in the body of your post. I can't stress this enough, right? Whether you are the face of your brand, like I'm the face of my brand, or your product and service speaks for itself, every brand has a voice. And when your ideal client is reading your post, they need to hear that brand voice. So we can't show up in video or on a commercial or on a billboard or wherever in a different way than we do in the word copy on our post. So we need to find the voice of our company and communicate to our ideal clients in that way. And then last, but certainly not least, every post needs to have a call to action at the end. Remember, I told you guys earlier in this segment, the average person on social media's attention span is only 6 seconds long. So what that means is at the end of the post, we need to give them specific instructions on the next step to take. Something like, click the link in my bio, save this post, DM me for more details, right? Things like that are going to direct them to where we want them to go. We cannot assume that after someone reads a post, they're going to do something else with us.
Right. 100%. And you know what I come across a lot, and I'll put this on my list of like people getting probation off of social media when they do it, is people who skip step 1 and 2 and go straight to the call to action. Like you've seen those social pages where it's like, I do roofing sale, get these shingles. And I'm just like, I don't know nothing about you. You do it good? Like, have you done it a lot? Like, what's your history? Like, nothing. And it's just at post after post, discount on sale, shingles, or buy it now, buy this window, get 2 windows free. They are selling call to action nonstop on social. And I'm like, that's not the way to be successful.
No.
Weaving that call to action in afterwards makes all the sense.
And I think it's so important to remember, your audience that's on social media, they're there to have fun. They're not there to be sold to. So when you jump right into that call to action, and just say, hey, check out my shingles and roofing, I'm not going to follow you anymore. And, Keshia, I'm sure you would agree with this when you were talking earlier about educating your audience. In my opinion, that doesn't mean necessarily educate your audience about your business. It's educate your audience about your topic, whatever it is your business does, whatever it sells, whatever it provides. You want to show that you're the industry expert and the business is almost secondary. So
Yeah.
I'd rather see the posts learn about the roofing process, or about the why it's difficult to get construction products right now, the import export issues and everything. Your business will, that'll come along later. But I think, Keshia, I'm sure you agree. I'm sure that's how you do it with your clients also, that, you got to remember your audience is there to have fun, not to be sold to. So, educate about your topic.
That's huge, Kevin. And not only that, but I think it's important to remember that everybody knows they're being sold to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 5-10 years ago on social media, maybe you didn't realize you were being sold to, but now, just like a commercial on TV, everyone knows they're being sold to, right?
Yep.
So we have to find a way to finesse that. We
Mm-hmm.
can't just jump into grab this book for $10 while it's hot. Like, we can't do that, right? Like, we need to explain, and we can't even just explain the features. We need to be explaining benefits. Why or how am I going to benefit from working with you? And I just want to be clear on what that is, right? So a feature of Thrive Academy is the fact that we do it in 2 hours a month, so you don't have to waste time, right? A benefit to Thrive Academy is having not just one-to-one opportunities with me, but also a group of people that you can network with and potentially co-create and collaborate with, right? So we need to understand the difference between features and benefits and focus on benefits, not features.
Got it. Love it. And random sidebar / related. My mother lives on Rebel Hill. She used to be able to see the whole, landscape. Instead, this guy built like 3 houses right across from her street. When I tell you these roofs are so interesting, like it has these, it's like a metal sheet, like it's like a metal sort of a sheet, like on the roof. And I'm like, that looks so cool. I know nothing about it, and I don't know where to find any information about it. Like I was like, I wish this dude was pumping out these new types of information about these roofs, because like that's what I want on my next house. But I don't know what it's called, and I was going to go ask the neighbor, like, hey, what did they do that with? They don't know. They were just like, he built it and that's his style. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. He doesn't even have social, so I tried to look him up and see if I could find it, but that's just me being disappointed. And thanks for we got a comment from Teresa. Yeah, people always want to know what is in it for them, and you kind of got to use your social media to kind of educate and teach people what's going on. And again, people flock to benefits. That's 100%. So this has been fantastic. Any last words, Keshia, for our social media aspiring gurus? And of course, I know we talked about your business, but we didn't give a ton into Thrive Academy. So I would love for you to explain that too.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I will start with Thrive Academy before I go into my Jerry Springer final thoughts here. I guess it would be smart to start with Thrive Academy. So, as I had mentioned briefly earlier, Thrive Academy is a community for ambitious entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and side hustlers with a new business idea that they'd like to get started. Maybe they've been in business for a little while and they feel like they're hitting some roadblocks with social. Maybe they've invested in online courses and watched a ton of video content promising to get them unstuck, yet they're disappointed every time. Mm-hmm. And really just entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and side hustlers who are ready to step into their power as a go-to business in their industry online. And Thrive Academy ultimately is, like I said, a year-long group coaching experience where I help my clients get really clear on a social media strategy that benefits them and the people who they serve. Through that, we do things like developing their brand story. We identify their ideal clients. We help them create compelling word copy. And we do all of these things so that ultimately they can create a digital footprint that they're proud of, believe in, and that's rooted in authenticity. Everything I do has to be authentic. I encourage all of my clients to infuse themselves into their companies. Ultimately, I believe our businesses are our babies. We give birth to them, and our DNA is what makes them run. So I like for my clients to learn how to give that to the world, show the world who you are, what you do, and what makes you amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that breakdown. And like, oh, it felt like a final word / explanation. Anything else you want to throw in there, or is that good?
My final thought today will be, here's a good one. Make sure if you are going to be in the social media internet streets that you secure all of your domains to be the exact same or very close to that. When you're creating a cohesive digital footprint, it is nothing worse than being ABC123 on Instagram, XYZ897 on Twitter, DFK152 on Facebook, right? We want to create a brand that is cohesive so that when people are following along your brand story, they're able to find you in a really clear and concise way. And last but not least, I want to encourage you all, if you do have good knees and you like Megan Thee Stallion, go on ahead and do that thing on TikTok and on those reels, because I guarantee you, you are going to thank me for the reach that you are going to be able to achieve.
Awesome.
Am I allowed to add a final thought to your final thought?
Can I say
Ooh,
no?
this is good.
Oh.
I didn't ask you, Zach. Totally agree with you. Try to get the social media handles to match your website domain. And one step further, if you think that there are certain platforms that you're not going to use for your business for whatever reason, go secure the domain, the handles anyway, because you never know. You may change your mind. The platform may shift a little bit. Maybe it's not appropriate for your business today, but it may be tomorrow. Maybe your business changes a little bit and it's appropriate tomorrow. But even if you think that there's a particular handle or a particular platform that you're not going to utilize, just get it anyway. It's free. You don't have to use it. Just make sure it's yours in case you change your mind later.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Keshia, for joining us. Folks, November 18th, we don't know who's coming on. So I encourage you, if you'd like to be a guest just like Keshia was today, shoot us an email. I got some folks who might have it, but this is for November 18th and future dates. This is actually our last show of 2021, and then we're working on the slate for 2022. So again, if you'd like to be a guest on Thursday Thoughts, contact us at energy@navitasmarketing.com. We'll get back to you. We'll set something up and have you out here to join us on the show. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you so much to our lovely guest, Keshia Butler-Thomas. Make sure you're following her on her 28,000 social handles that are scrolling at the bottom. And we will be back next month with a special guest. Again, thanks for watching. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.